Today in focus, the upcoming U.S. Senate race in Massachusetts. Incumbent Senator John Kerry is running for his fifth term. He faces Republican candidate Jeff Beatty, an Army veteran, former FBI agent, and CIA counterterrorism officer from Harwich, Massachusetts, and he is our guest on Newsday Live. Thank you for coming by, Jeff.
Thank you for having me.
So why'd you decide to run?
Well, basically, I looked at what was passing for representation. I looked at the problems that we face economically, national security-wise, and I thought that it was time that we have someone representing us in the United States Senate who really has the relevant experience, who's willing to do the work to solve the problems we face in terms of protecting our families, protecting our jobs, and protecting our country. And I believe with the background I've got that I can do a better job than Senator Kerry. Here I am.
As you know, Kerry is a four-term incumbent in a heavily Democratic state. So why do you think you can beat him?
Because I think that the voters in Massachusetts have shown over time that in a statewide election, they're willing to look at the individual. They're willing to look at the relevant experience. Here's somebody who has firsthand experience in the homeland security and national security areas, whereas John Kerry has to go to Tom Clancy for that type of thing. Also, I've got a lot of firsthand experience in business. I've run a small business for a dozen years. I understand the tax policies because they affect me just like they affect all of your listeners. So Massachusetts has a history of being willing to elect a Republican at the statewide level if you give them the reason to do so. We're going to give them that reason to do so. So we have a Zogby poll, in fact, that says if people know the basics about me, and they can find them out at jeffbeatty.com, that we are already in a tie with John Kerry. So we're encouraged.
How much support are you getting from the National Party? We checked the National Republican Senatorial Campaign website, and it's listing Jim Ogonowski as the Republican candidate. We reported yesterday that he fell short of the signatures required to make it on the ballot. But why are you not listed as a candidate?
News travels slow to Washington, apparently. You know, the good news is that the Massachusetts Republican Party is not in D.C. The Massachusetts Republican Party is not down at 85 Merrimack Street in downtown Boston. The Massachusetts Republican Party is in Harwich, it's in Pittsfield, it's every place out there where we've been meeting for the past year with people. And Beth, every time we go in and we meet with those people, and not just Republicans, but people who are middle of the road people who understand that we need some change here. We've been picking up tremendous support. We've already had 30,000 individual donations, over $1 million. We've had a couple of hundred people out there on our signature drive who gathered 25,000 raw signatures, 17,000 certified, the biggest of any candidates total. So I tell you what, someone asked me how's the campaign going the other day, and I said, let me give them a different kind of answer. And I've worked on a couple of movies, so what I told them was, you know, if this were a movie, there is no character I'd rather be playing than the Jeff Beatty character.
We've got about 30 seconds left. What's the biggest issue that matters to people in Massachusetts right now?
I think clearly it's the economy, but we have to be able to both walk and chew gum at the same time. That's why I think that there's three things that we want to talk about: protecting families, protecting jobs, and protecting our country. And I believe I've got the experience to do it. Thus far, I'm encouraged by the results. So we look forward to the campaign against Senator Kerry.
Jeff Beatty, Republican candidate for Senate. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you,
We
Beth.
appreciate it.